Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on the Real Estate Podcast. I'm Todd Sumney, the Chief Industry Officer for HomeSmart International. Today's podcast episode is going to be part 3 in a 4-part series about live virtual real estate events, specifically live virtual showings, live virtual open houses. What software do you need to use? How do you use it step by step? And where do you go to get step-by-step instructions to teach you how to do this? So I hope that you enjoy today's episode, part 3, how to execute and conduct live virtual showings and live virtual open houses. Let's actually talk about conducting live events. So much the way that I'm right now with all of you, I can turn my camera off, I can turn my camera on because I'm controlling everything. I can actually have my camera on and I can be talking. But I get an alert on my screen that says, hey, you are muted. So after you begin to learn how to use this software, you can actually begin to conduct live events and be very adept at doing all of this. So let's walk you through step by step how to conduct live virtual showings and live virtual open houses. So earlier, I showed you a screenshot of Chris Lardy in California. And this is Chris and I doing a side-by-side recording. And maybe this is like an example of a side-by-side virtual listing appointment or a virtual showing that you can do one-on-one with a realtor or another customer. You just go to click off your meeting software, get it going, invite the other person, and there they are, and you're doing a live event or a live meeting. So some helpful links for all of you that if we could. You can watch a video of Chris Lardy talking about how he's conducting virtual real estate and how he's being very successful with virtual real estate. So go to that YouTube link right there and you can watch that recording of Chris. Additionally, I recorded a live virtual showing of Chris. Chris recorded it, showing him actually doing a live virtual showing. I'm going to play that for you here in just a moment. Parts of it, I just want you to see how it works. Emily was so awesome. She just typed it in the chat for all of you. So you can copy and paste those links right out of your chat and then go watch those videos in their entirety. And you can also go to zoom.com to set up your own free account. So before I actually show you the example, I want to explain the different ways of doing live virtual showings. So on one example, you're going to pre-record footage. And you're going to then use that pre-recorded footage and set up a live Zoom meeting or live meeting software. And when you're doing the live event, then you're going to press play and you're going to begin to record with someone. And the other way is to do it completely live. The differences between a recorded version and a completely live version is that a completely live version, basically you have multiple people on the call and the buyer says, hey, can you show me the ceilings? If I'm doing it virtually live, I can take my iPhone and I can tilt it up and show you the ceilings and say, is that what you were looking for? Now, if I do a pre-recorded where I walk through the home with my phone and I take a tour and I record it and I do it previously, then when I'm walking you through it, all I can do is pause. But I can still do a live showing. It's just doing a live showing with pre-recorded. So here are the step-by-step versions of how you would walk through a pre-recorded video footage. First thing you have to do is pre-record footage of a walkthrough. And don't speak, don't do any voiceovers so that you can do that live when you're talking to someone. Then you want to send out a post meeting invitation to, or you want to send out or post the meeting invitation or link from the meeting software to the prospective buyer, the prospective buyer's agent, or the live virtual open house visitor. Then you open in Zoom, you share your desktop, etc. You press play on the pre-recorded video, you talk or you talk live, through it. For the completely live version, you're going to send out just the meeting invitation, and then you're just going to do it live. You're going to conduct and block the identities. And as the seller walks through your home, you're going to see it. So what I want to do, I want to play for you a version here. And I want to give you an example real quick of you know, you're going to be able to see. I'm going to fast forward a little bit and watch what Chris is doing here for all of you.
Okay, today I'm here. We're going to do a virtual.
So I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to fast forward it a little bit till they start actually showing the property. So notice again, he's got the buyer's agent on. The buyer's identity is shielded as well.
In the dining room area.
Whoops, sorry, backed up too far. So here you go.
In the craft room. So today during the open house, we're only going to be featuring the downstairs of this property.
Great. How high are the ceilings in general?
So the ceilings are in the dining room area is about a 14 to 16 foot ceiling, and in the other areas are about 10 feet, or 9 to 10 feet.
Great.
So this is the great room. Can you shift your phone opposite angle? So can you go landscape? Is that better for the buyer? Can you ask your buyer if that's better?
Mm-hmm. Much better, he said.
So I paused it for a minute. One of the things to note here is that the buyer in the lower right corner is texting with the buyer's agent in the upper left corner. They're texting privately via the chat, because when you're in the chat mechanism, you can text everyone in the group, or in Zoom, you can only text just privately one party. So right now, all of you are on Zoom. If you wanted to, you could text me privately, or you could text the whole group. That's the same way that it works. So notice they're talking back and forth as Chris is doing the virtual showing, because they're texting with each other. And the prospective buyer is muted. The prospective seller is muted as well.
So the kitchen, like I said, has been completely remodeled and redone. There's French doors on the back of the great room that go out to the entertainer's backyard. That's got a built-in barbecue, and then plenty of area just to entertain. So it's raining out, so we're not going to take the camera outside too much today during the rain, but she can at least show you where the backyard is. Got string lighting along the top. That'll go
what's in the far corner of the backyard?
The far corner is a fire pit and a couch. So those will be taken with the seller. However, that's a really good spot for it. The lighting will actually stay.
My buyer is asking, can you see the neighbors from the yard? Do they look in? I guess how private is the backyard area?
It's really private, especially from the back side of the property. The right side of the property has a little bit of neighbor view. Seller, can you take the camera to the right? Yeah. So it's got a little bit of a neighbor view there. So if it's me, I would recommend that your buyer would place trees there to block that view. But seller, can you shift to the left? There you go. See, that's the left. That's the back of the property. Nobody sees in. And then if you look to the far left, nobody sees in either. So it's just on the right side.
Okay.
So the house has also got 2 AC units, one for downstairs and one for upstairs. And we've taken the AC unit, and the sellers told me that they've replaced the upstairs AC unit, all brand new ducting, and put a really energy efficient one in there for the hot days. Slow down a little bit, seller. There you go. Just kind of pan.
Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to paused it again. Notice how he had the seller slow down. That is the one thing. I'm talking to like 50 different agents that are doing virtual tours right now with customers. And the one thing that they're all saying in common is, you know, educate the person who is the home seller walking through the home. Just have them walk slowly, have them pan slowly, and coach them a little bit ahead of time. And if you coach them ahead of time, they're very successful. They're good at it. And then remind them maybe throughout while you're doing it, it's okay. And the other thing is, surprisingly, the sellers love being involved. So they're okay being the cameraman, just so you know. So, but watch Chris when he's talking, you know, to the agent here, or to the seller about slowing down.
Slow down a little bit, seller. There you go. Just kind of pan the room. You can see it's all custom kitchen, open shelving, new appliances throughout, and then there's a butler's pantry right off the kitchen.
Yeah, can we go ahead and see the butler's pantry?
I'm sure probably just peek in there real quick. There you go. So there's the butler's pantry, open shelving in there also.
Great. What kind of countertop in the butler's pantry my seller or my buyer wants to know?
The countertop is a wood countertop, so like a butcher block, but a custom made one is what she told me.
Great.
And then the shelves are custom made also. Go ahead and continue into the dining room. And you can see the dining room is large enough to fit 10 people at the table. You might even be able to get 12 or 14 there too, depending. Go ahead and go into the master. So this home is really unique. It's got a downstairs master bedroom, which is very versatile. Can be used throughout the ages, and there's no time limit on that, of course, being that you don't have to go upstairs. So downstairs master bedroom. It's got wood flooring downstairs too. It's got plantation shutters. And then it's got access to the backyard where the fire pit's at.
Is that a French door or is that a single door?
It's a single door.
Okay.
Seller, I think you can go ahead and pan to the master bathroom. Is your buyer good with the master bedroom so far?
So far, I haven't heard anything. Buyer, is there anything? Oh, they said yes.
Okay, good. So as you can see, the master bathroom has been remodeled. Carrara marble countertops. There is a standalone soaking tub in the bathroom. Wood grain porcelain tile flooring, and subway tile shower. Closets oversized. I won't make her show you too much of that considering they're still living in the home. But the closet is large and can fit a lot of stuff in there. Okay. And then
my I apologize. My buyer wants to know what kind of flooring is in the bath. You mentioned it, but I guess how is it? Maybe explain how it's different from in the bath than the rest of the downstairs.
Okay, yeah. So the tile is tile flooring in the master bathroom. So it's a porcelain tile that's wood grain. And so it's actually not wood, it's porcelain tile.
Which I think is a great idea when it comes to bathrooms.
Absolutely, yeah. Your buyer will like that. Okay, seller, I think you can head back out of the master. Is the master bath okay for you?
Buyer is saying, got it. Is that a shelf behind the bath or just wall detailing?
So it's a shelf. So when the sellers remodeled the bathroom, they built the shelf out so that they could put stuff along the top of the shelf when they're taking a bath, or even for decorative items.
Right.
All right, so I think everyone can see there then, how that is working. Whoops, sorry. Hopefully you all saw my comments in the chat. I made a couple notes in the chat as we were all going along. Have the doors open to the pantry, etc. Makes the tour smoother. Have all of the lights on ahead of time. Coach your seller or the camera person to move the camera as the conversation flows and to zoom in when asked. Examples of that were on the flooring or on the shelf in the back of the master bath, back behind the bathtub. And that's what makes it a live virtual showing, because the buyer is actually having requests and the camera person is actually showing that property, and answering it, moving the camera. Now imagine though doing that also pre-recorded. You can do that pre-recorded where on the lower left corner, let's just say that, I'm gonna fast forward again. Let's say that this was footage that was done a week earlier, and that you're talking over the top of it. Whoops, sorry. Darn it. Right back, sorry. See here. So imagine now that the person, the video footage you have.
Okay, today I'm
skipping ahead right here. Okay, so imagine for a minute that recording voiceover is not over the top of it.
Opposite angle, so can you go landscape?
You're actually talking over the top of it.
Is that better for the buyer?
You could do that too. So that's how pre-recorded work.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so a question on the screen.
Much
Love
better.
the question. can we use Matterport to show all instead of the seller? So here's a couple things. One option in some states where realtors are not allowed to enter the home, the seller is your only option. In some states, you might even have an unoccupied home and you're not allowed to have photographers even enter the home. So photographers aren't an option. You as the realtor can't enter the home. The realtor, that isn't an option. But for example, in Colorado, just yesterday we heard that on April 27th, they're going to be lifting some restrictions. Now the realtor can get back inside the home. Photographers will not be allowed inside the home. So in that case, you wouldn't be able to do Matterport. You would have to actually still have the realtor go to the property of the unoccupied home and do the footage and do the showing. So the realtor would walk through the home, obviously wearing a face mask, gloves, booties, etc., and following all of the guidelines and hand sanitizer and wiping everything down and doing that. Or you have the realtor walk through one time. Do not talk over the top, just record the footage. And then from then on, when people want to see a virtual showing, the same way I'm playing a video for you right now over and over and over again, you could be playing that recorded video over and over and talking over the top of it. Now, Matterport is virtual camera software that they put a camera in the middle of the room and it takes a 360-degree photo, including even upwards of the ceiling and down at the floor. And it creates this virtual tour where it creates, let's say there's 17 spaces throughout the house. There's the entryway. There's the dining room to the right. There's the living room to the left. There's the hallway leading into the kitchen. And then you go into the kitchen and then you go into the family room. And you take these 17 or 20 different visual photographs and you take 360-degree views, and it allows someone to stitch those all together, Matterport, to create a live virtual, or to create a virtual tour. The thing is, those have been around forever, and those are very viable. They're awesome. Buyers love them, sellers love them, but they're still not the same as somebody walking through the home with a camera live. And so that's where live has actually been becoming preferred just in the last couple weeks. I know that it's, in a way, it seems a little bit complicated, or it's something new for all of you. But if you can grasp the live concept, just think back to the footage we just saw. Live is better than if that would have been pre-recorded. And live is candidly better, in my opinion, than Matterport. Because Matterport, you have to click and walk through and click, and then you're still seeing, versus someone actually walking through a home and you directing them, no, stop. Can you go back? Can you actually show me the pantry? Is that walk-through pantry between the dining room and the kitchen? So that's the butler's pantry. Does that actually full complete walkthrough? So it's 360-degree circle. You could walk through the home and you could actually have somebody walk it live, just like they would be doing if they were touring the home live. So I love Matterport. I think Matterport is awesome. I think it's a great thing. I do think that live virtual is better, and that that you can do either. So now I've shown you the example. You as the agent would need to choose the meeting software you would want to use. So you would choose Zoom, you would use FaceTime, Facebook Live, Facebook Event, or Google Meets. Now earlier there was 12 different types of software that were supported by the different MLSs. We are honing in on these 5. So back to the question up on the screen, can we use Matterport to show instead? Yes, you could use Matterport, and Matterport is a software service. The camera is expensive, but it's either typically owned by a photographer, and it costs money per Matterport thing to stitch together. And that's also a different type of software, because the Matterport software is what stitches it all together. And so you can choose to use that, but again, then that's not live. And I do like Matterport. I also like live. The next question is, so did I answer the question, Napua, about what is Matterport? And then the question came up, is it better to use an iPhone or an iPad to video? I will tell you that the new iPhone 10s that have 3 lenses create amazing video, and they are even better than the very expensive video cameras. So an iPhone is a very phenomenal tool. Some of the new Samsung and Android phones as well, I'm told by other agents that those are phenomenal cameras as well. And the phones seem to be easy to use. And more importantly, customers want authentic. And so one of the differences too between a Matterport showing or a pre-stitched together 360-degree photograph, I don't want to use brand names, I don't want to use Matterport, I'm just saying a pre-stitched together showing, is that it's pre-stitched, it's not authentic, it's not live. But it's higher quality. Maybe, it might be. But that's the difference between where you have to ask yourself about authenticity versus high quality. And I'm just trying to present both sides of the equation here. Even using an iPhone or an Android phone, they're authentic and they're real and they're very good to use. The iPads or the tablets can also be done. Those are easy for the home buyer or the home seller to walk around in. Those have great cameras in them as well. I would say you need to use whatever the home seller is comfortable with or whatever the realtor is comfortable with. If you're asking though which one you should learn, I would say whatever, just use the highest quality camera, whether it be an iPhone or Android. I personally love the iPhone 10 because some of the software, even at night, when you're showing homes, the photography or the snapshot it has this night vision and turns it into beautiful night photography, and it does that both in still shots or in video. So again, choice is up to the user. One question here, Juanita. I have set up my Zoom account and have scheduled a trial for myself and 2 friends so that I can be sure to get that going. However, I don't know how to use my smartphone to do the walkthrough if I'm doing the live showing or if I need to coach the seller on how to do it. Okay, so let's go live drive in a minute, Juanita, and I'll show you how to do that. I'll hook my phone up to my laptop and we'll walk through that. So in the meantime here, Billy, I want you to walk through real quick. Billy created, and Emily as well. Thank you to both Billy and Emily for the hard work of creating step-by-step instructions for all of you to do a live virtual showing or an open house via Zoom, via FaceTime, Facebook Live, Facebook event, or Google Meets. So Billy, first I want to talk about Zoom. So Juanita just typed into the chat that Zoom has, if you go to zoom.com, you can all set up a free account for free and start to use Zoom. You can have up to 100 participants, but you're limited to 40-minute time limit on a meeting. So for example, this class right now is going longer than 40 minutes. It wouldn't work. Or if you're doing a 3-hour open house, you would not be able to do that with a free account. So zoom.com or zoom.us, you can set up a free account. If you want to upgrade, you can upgrade for $14.99 to a pro account, which will allow you to have 100 people. It will allow you to to have a meeting duration of up to 24 hours. So you could do a 3-hour virtual open house or 5-hour virtual open house because it would go that long. In addition, the pro account will record, the free version will not. So another thing is that Zoom is mobile. Notice this is a screenshot off of a mobile phone. So Juanita, this is answering your question. You don't know how to use your smartphone to do the walkthrough. One of the things you would do is go set up in your free Zoom account your meeting. Then you would pull out your mobile phone and you would hit join a meeting, sign up, or sign in. So if you have when you hit join a meeting, it's going to ask you for the meeting ID of the meeting that you already set up. And now you can have the meeting running off of your laptop, but you're also running it off your iPhone when you walk through the home. And then I'll show you a screenshot in a moment of an iPhone, how you can flip the camera back around and log in and actually join a meeting. So Without any further ado, though, Billy, I want you to walk them through step by step how to create a Zoom meeting and then how to kick one off. So take it away.
All right, thanks, Todd. So right here, we just have the steps listed out, but we can go to the video where we can just, I'll tell you the steps as this video goes on. So when you
by the
create
way,
an account,
real quick, we're gonna, in order for time, they've created step-by-steps for you for all 5 versions of software. So what we're gonna do is you can go back and refer to the PowerPoint later for the step-by-step instructions, but then Billy's gonna walk you through here real quick a pre-recorded video that he did, which is an example of how you would do a pre-recorded live virtual tour as well. So Billy, take it away.
All right, thanks, Todd. So yeah, so this is what you'll see when you are in your account for Zoom. You'll see schedule a meeting. You will click that schedule a meeting button, and it will take you into the meeting details page where you'll enter in all the different information you'd like to include in the meeting. So you'll have a topic. You can change the name of that. So for here, we'll say, do it as we're hosting a live virtual open house. We'll enter in that as the topic. Description, you can enter in property details or any other information that you'd like to present to viewers before the meeting would start. And then there's other options. As we scroll down, you'll be able to select the date and time you wish to host that live virtual open house. Remember, a free live Zoom account or a free Zoom account is 40-minute time window. So we'll set that duration for the 40 minutes. We'll scroll down further, and you get the different options. You'll have a meeting ID that's generated that people will use to log into your meeting. You can see that you have your personal meeting ID that doesn't change, and then you can generate an automatic one specific for that meeting that you would like. Also, Zoom has added extra security features where you can require a meeting password to enter, and then you provide participants with that meeting password. You have different options of selecting if you want your video on or off for the participants, for people joining your live virtual open house. There's other meeting options. You can mute every participant as they enter. You can enable a waiting room if you'd like to do one live virtual showing at a time. Anyone that is in the waiting room will have they will be waiting until a notification will be popped up on your screen to admit and let them enter the meeting room. Then you have an option to record the meeting automatically through your local computer. So there's several different options that you can select. You save the meeting, this schedules it, and then you'll see you can add it to your calendar if you'd like. You'll see right there they have that join URL link. You're going to want to copy that, and that is the link that.
Go ahead, Billy.
That is the link that you're going to want to share when you're promoting the event. So you can use that to post on Facebook, social media. You can email it out to other agents, but that is the link that you're going to want to share to other agents or buyers that they want to view your live virtual open house or live virtual showing when you host it.
Awesome. Okay, so Billy, I paused it real quick. Notice how I paused the video because I want to talk about something. You can do that when you're doing a pre-recorded live virtual showing as well. So, and one of the things is that we are playing this via Zoom. So how you would do a pre-recorded version is you set up a pre-Zoom meeting, you have the video footage, you press play and you talk over the top of it, you pause, etc. You talk over the top of it. So one of the things I want to point out, the reason why I paused it, is you'll notice up at the top there's the add to Google Calendar, add to an Outlook calendar, add to a Yahoo calendar. If you are conducting a meeting with another realtor, you would click on add that to Google Calendar or whatever calendar you use, and the next screen that would pop up would be a window to schedule it on your calendar, and it would ask you, do you want to invite guests? And what you would do is it would invite the other realtor, it would invite the prospective buyer, and it would automatically save when they open the email invite, it would save that event to their calendar automatically. And then it's easy to tell them later when they want to come join the meeting, oh, just go to your calendar, the link is right in there on your calendar. So that's a great way I've learned working with other agents about how to make it easy for other realtors or consumers that maybe aren't as familiar. When the link is just right there, all they have to do is click on it in their calendar. Or the link that Billy has highlighted right there, you could cut and paste and text that to somebody. You could message it to somebody. You could post it on your social media, as Billy was saying, and therefore all they have to do is click on the link. So the other day, an agent in Colorado said all they did was texted this link to an 86-year-old person, and it was super simple. All they had to do was click on the link, and then it worked. And they were so excited that they were able to, do the meeting virtually and participate. So I'm going to keep on playing video. We'll play the rest of the video here for everybody.
So then also, yeah, you'll see that copy invitation. Again, you can copy it. You can add different text right here. So you can add property details, and then this is just another way to copy the meeting invitation and share it out. So that'll copy it to your clipboard if you're on a desktop, and you'll just copy or paste it to whichever platform or social media you'd like. We'll continue scrolling down, or no, we'll scroll up, and then that's basically the meeting screen. And when you're ready to go live, you'll click start the meeting, and it'll launch your Zoom window. So you'll have to, it'll open in an application that you'll have to have on your computer, just a Zoom application. So it'll just load real quick, and as it's loading, good time to get prepared for the live virtual open house. So it's connecting to the meeting right now, so it's logging you into that meeting that you shared out to everyone.
So
And then
Billy,
as soon as it can,
Billy, I'm pausing it for a minute again. So Juanita,
okay.
you were asking about, again, okay, you know how to set it up in Zoom, but you don't know how to then run it off of your mobile phone, et cetera. So the example here, you set the meeting up first. Now Billy is starting the meeting inside of Zoom. So you can start it on your laptop, and then you go join the meeting later on your mobile, and that's how you can use your mobile as the camera, or you could use your laptop as the camera, or you have the seller come in then after you've started the meeting, and now the seller joins the meeting, and then they turn their camera on and they start to use the camera. Does that make sense, Juanita? All right, I'm gonna press play and keep going. Billy, you keep talking.
All right. So it'll launch your Zoom window. If you're on a desktop, if you're using a mobile device, the app will automatically, you'll just open the app and it'll have the screen and everything right there for you. Now we're gonna join with our computer audio so that everyone can hear us speaking into our, into the microphone, and anyone that wants to view it. Here you'll see the screen how it is when you are live. You'll see, you click on manage participants, and you'll see all the people that are in there. Right there you'll see the more drop down, where if you'd like to rename participants or the buyers and the sellers, listing agents, you can do it there. So you'll rename it so that if they would like their name to be private, you can do that. You can unmute all, so there's different options. And then that's
Billy, sorry, hang on, I messed up. I accidentally clicked it. You just renamed it. Okay.
So yeah, you'll rename it. That's how you would do that.
So Billy, what I wanted to talk about is when you're doing an open house and you have a meeting open for 3 hours, what you would see on this screen right here is also new participants showing up and popping in and out of the meeting. And so right now you just saw Billy's name only, and Billy changed it to just say listing agent. And then when the buyer joins, you would see their name pop in, and the seller's buyer's agent joins, you would see their name pop in. And when you're doing open houses, you would see various people be able to pop in. If you do a waiting room, at the top, you would see the 3 people that are in your meeting in the virtual open house, but then you would also see somebody else's phone number or whatever sitting there. It says waiting to join, and next to it, it says either add or make them wait. And then you can choose to add people in from a waiting room, or you can just say admit all, and you can let everybody in as well. And then the other thing to notice that next to Billy's name, or where now he changed it to say listing agent, you can actually control people's audio and video. So this weekend, there was an agent who was conducting a live virtual open house. They had set the meeting up via their laptop, and they also were, they entered using their mobile phone as one of the participants so they could walk around the home and show people the property. but then they would have people enter the meeting and they couldn't figure out how to unmute themselves. And what he would do is go over to his laptop and he would click the little microphone button or click the little video button, and he could turn their video on and off, or their audio on and off. Now, please note, for privacy, what you do is you turn on the audio and you start to talk to them first. You don't turn on their video for them until you have permission. And then just say, hey, can you hear me now? And then you can start to talk. And then you can say, hey, would you like me to turn on your video for you so that you can see my face, I can see yours, or would you rather just have audio only? And that's a way, though, that you can control everything from your meeting right there. So, Billy, I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep on talking. I just wanted to walk them through that.
Nope. Of course, no, that was good information. I think
there's a little bit
so.
more.
Yeah, you'll see. Yeah, just a little bit more. Again, more options. You can to allow participants to unmute themselves. So there's different features. You can see the chat, the share your screen. So that's where the button, that share screen, is what you would click if you wanted to share a pre-recorded video, and then you would have that video up on your computer, and you would share that screen to play and pause the video as such.
Yeah, and then there was also Mark wanted to know, how do I attach paperwork to Zoom that I want a realtor or a client to see? So there's two ways. Attach or to see it are two different things. If you hit the share screen button that is highlighted in the green on the bottom down there, what will happen is that then you open up in your laptop, you would open up the file you want them to see. Let's say you're searching the MLS. You could actually be searching MLS web pages and having them view on your laptop and showing that. I don't know if that's allowed by the MLS, but brokers, you chime in. But let's say you're opening up a PDF document or a contract or a disclosure document. You can hit share and then open up the document on your laptop, and they will be able to see that document. To share or attach paperwork, in the chat feature, there's a mechanism that allows you to send a document via chat, or you can email it to people and send it to them that way. So did that answer your question, Mark? And then Billy, you can keep on talking again. I'll press play.
All right, can you hear me good?
Yep.
All right, good. All right, and then when you're ready to end the meeting, you'll just click end meeting, and that will end your stream, the meeting conference that you have set.
Right. And then it's important to note that if you do end the meeting, let's say you have a meeting set for 3 hours long for an open house, you can end the meeting. I've had people end the meeting accidentally and then they panic. You can go back and restart the same meeting as long as you had it scheduled for 3 hours and have it open up. If you set a meeting just for a one-time, 1 o'clock to 1:15, then when you end the meeting, it pretty much ends. But did that answer everyone's questions then on Zoom? Want to highlight one other quick little thing going on to the next screen. Some agents, when they're doing like a listing presentation appointment, what they want to do is change their virtual background. So I'm going to turn on my video for all of you right now and watch my background. I'm in my office here. I have a background back behind me. I'm going to change and I'm going to hit choose virtual background. And when I choose a virtual background, a window comes up and I can actually choose a nice HomeSmart background that has a lighted yard sign back behind me, or I could have a photograph of one of my listings with my name on the yard sign, or I could have this background or this HomeSmart background. I could change various backgrounds back behind me, or I choose none and my background goes away. So those backgrounds, HomeSmart backgrounds, the marketing team created for all of you, and you can go download them here. And sorry, hang on, let me click off my background again. And you'll see that on Real Smart, Smart Agent Ideas, the private Facebook group, if you search for Adam Bauer, he's our Vice President of Marketing, he made a post where he uploaded the Zoom backgrounds for you all to download, as well as Emily, tell them where they can go download them either in the MDC or on the downloads page of homesmart.com/virtual-open-house. All right. Additionally, okay, so anything else, Billy, or any questions real quick on Zoom? Do you guys think you have it on Zoom? Okay. All right. Mark says we answered his question. All right. Kathy says, how do you actually upload those HomeSmart backgrounds into your Zoom account after you've downloaded them to your laptop? Okay, so I'm going to try to do this again here. Billy, when I select choose virtual background, do you see the background window show up that says choose a virtual background?
Yes, you can see the different options below.
Okay, so notice what I did was when on this drop-down menu, I'm going to go back one slide here for you. On this drop-down menu at the top of your menu bar, you see a little audio button, you see a little video button. There should be an arrow right next to your video button. When you click the arrow either down or up, a pop-up window will come up and it'll say choose your virtual background. When you click choose your virtual background, this window right here will come up. And at the beginning, it's empty. So when you click this add, this little plus sign, well, it's empty. It has some default ones. It has the San Francisco Bridge. It has some grass. It has the Space Odyssey. But then these other ones are not there. You have to click this little plus button. You click the plus button and say add image or add video. So you can even add something, a video behind you or an image. If I click add image, it's going to ask me what image do you want to add into my background. And so I could go down here. Let's see here. Oh, I know what one I want to add. I'll add this one. So I add this background right here, and you'll notice that my background shows up. Now, Billy, is the word reading the right way on the screen, or is it reading backwards?
It's reading correctly on your screen, yeah, on your end.
Is it reading?
So if you're looking at the settings window, it looks like it's backwards, but your actual camera view has it correctly.
Right, and I think that's where this little button here says mirror my video. So now it reads correctly on my settings button. Does it still read correctly for you?
Yep.
Okay, and then the other way is you click this and it mirrors it. Some people like it one way or the other, but anyway, did you see how easy it was? Did that answer your question, Kathy? And then Emily, you put a note. All right, perfect. So you can actually do that with any photograph you want. A lot of agents go take a photograph of one of their yard signs so that their yard sign is over here to the right or to the left of them, and then you can actually see that, or it's one of their listings, or maybe even a custom logo. If you're an agent that has your own custom logo, you can put that up in the background back behind you. Emily, Camille wants to know about finding those on Smart Agent Ideas. Maybe we Adam pin that to the top, or if you can help Emily search for it real quick, that would be great. How to find it. I think if you just search Adam Bauer on Smart Agent Ideas, his posts will come up. Mark asks, how to add seller's iPhone to show the tour on Zoom. So back to this screen. Billy, did you record yourself actually putting it on a calendar, an invite? We didn't, did we?
Not the Zoom, no. I did not.
I think I have a screenshot of that coming up a little bit later, but let me fast forward here through your video. One of the things that you would do when Billy here copies and pastes right here. So when Billy copies and pastes the meeting invitation information, he would email this to his seller. And the seller then would get this information, and when they click on the link, they would enter the meeting as a participant, and they would show up right here when Billy launches the meeting. It would show up, they would show up to the right, and right underneath Billy's name, basically their name would show up. And then that's when what Billy was doing was, he just did it on his name because he was the only one that was participating, but he could actually click next to the seller's name, rename, and just type the words seller, and then it would have his name, and then underneath it, the seller, and they would be shielded from privacy. So did I answer your question, Mark, about how to add that for all of you? I'm gonna add none here, go back, click. All right, Mark got it. Okay, perfect. All right, Billy, we're doing good. Thanks, Emily, for all your help in the chat as well. So let's keep on going. And let's talk about FaceTime for a moment. Okay, so FaceTime software comes with every Apple phone, and a lot of people use FaceTime. The thing I've heard from some agents, that agents prefer FaceTime. I like Zoom. I just think Zoom makes it all so easy, and Zoom is a great thing to do. And you just do Zoom on your laptop and also do Zoom on your phone. But some people like FaceTime because you can flip the camera around sideways and actually have on your screen exactly what the customer is seeing as you walk through and you tour the home. So FaceTime is super easy. Billy did a step-by-step here for you for FaceTime. And we also, there's two different sets of instructions. One is to do FaceTime on your phone. The other is to do FaceTime on your laptop. And the thing important to note, FaceTime can have up to 32 people at one time. Zoom can have up to 100 or 49 people on one screen at a time. I'll show you a screenshot of that later. But for now, what I want to do is I want to go live drive real quick and show you how easy it is to do a FaceTime. I'm going to do a quick FaceTime call with Billy and Emily. And pull up my phone. Let me take off all my notifications here. Turn down my volume. And I'm going to pull up FaceTime now for all of you. I need to end the show real quick. And now notice how I am running a Zoom meeting. I ended the PowerPoint, so now the PowerPoint closed down from being full screen just to seeing what you see on the screen. You can actually minimize something and make it go away. And that's where you could then open up a PDF document, and a PDF document would show up on the screen. Or in this case, I'm actually going to operate my iPhone. I'm going to do a new recording right here. And hopefully my iPhone shows up. Right there is my iPhone for all of you. So I'm going to stop the video real quick. And Billy, do you see my phone up on the screen?
Yes, we do.
So what I'm going to do, in the upper right corner, there's a little plus sign. When you hit that plus sign, it asks you, like, who do you want to call? So I'm going to type in right now Billy's phone number, and I'm going to touch my finger on Billy's name right there. And you notice his name goes into the call, and then underneath it, it says audio or video. But I want to add one more person, and I might want to, so let's pretend that Billy is the prospective buyer. I want to add the prospective buyer's agent. So now the buyer's agent is Emily. I'm going to go add Emily. Emily's name comes up right there. I'm going to hit Emily Hegdahl. Now notice that people are grayed out. Some are in a brighter color. Brighter color are people who have FaceTime. And the other number is people who don't have FaceTime. They must be an Android user. Android users need to use Google Duo. And if they do, they can get in. And we'll have to teach you all how to do that later. But I'm going to hit Emily right now. I'm going to add Emily. And notice that previously I'd done a call with Billy, Emily, and Tori. So it automatically comes up. This time I don't want to do a four-way call. I'm just going to do Billy and Emily. All I do is hit the green video button and watch how FaceTime starts. There's my phone. Hi, Billy.
Hello?
All right. Hang on. Turn down. Okay. All right. See if the two of you, hang on, let me try this. All right. Did that make it go away? You can all still hear me? Okay. You're hearing me through the computer, not through my phone. So what I did was I muted my phone, and the audio is only going through my computer. Otherwise, you get feedback. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, Emily, do you want to flip your phone around or do you want me to do that? All right, so she flipped her phone around and you can see right here that she is now acting as the camera person. Or I could do that as well. There's a little control panel at the bottom. You just click on your face. Emily, flip your camera back around. It's super simple. You just click on your image and the phone will flip around forwards or backwards. So pretty easy on how to use Zoom, right? All right, hang on, I gotta do a screenshot. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, it is screenshot with my phone. All right. And then all you do is click the end button and the phone call goes away. So one person, give me a thumbs up if we showed you what you need to know about FaceTime. I go back to the PowerPoint. And I'm gonna go back to our PowerPoint and show you my screen. And that's how you do PowerPoint. So now we're gonna talk real quick about how you do Facebook Live. Billy, do you wanna walk them through? Here's Facebook Live. We have 2 different sets of screens. The first thing is how to go live on a setup of an event. And then we have a video of it. And then once you have the event set up, then there's a separate set of instructions to actually make the event go live. So Billy, you guys go back and refer later to the step-by-step instructions, but Billy, maybe walk them through the video.
For sure. So the way we're gonna set up Facebook Live is we're gonna create an event that you can share through Facebook. Share that, whether it's your personal page or you have a Facebook business page. Just create the event for the live virtual open house. And again, Facebook Live is going to be best for a live virtual open house because it is public. Anyone that can go to your Facebook business page will see it. So there, you can't really have any restrictions on who can view it. Anyone that can go to your Facebook business page will be able to have access to that stream. So it's good for a live virtual open house. You'll create the event. Again, you'll just select the date and time you'd like to host the event. The end time you'll select. We'll do an hour. You'll enter in the event name. And then you'll see as the desktop preview, it kind of shows you how it's going to appear on people's Facebook pages. So this is how the event's going to look. You'll see it has live virtual open house. It has the date, the time. It has your link to your Facebook page as the location. And then that's where people will be able to click that link. That's the link to your Facebook Live page. And when you are live, they'll be able to view it. You'll select a category. You'll select home as the category. You can upload a cover photo for the event. There's several different other options. Some of them don't really pertain to a live virtual open house. You can show your guest list. You can make it so you can allow people to comment on the event post and directly interact with that event. So you can have people that are interested. You can invite it to people directly. So however you want to market that, but that's how you'll create the event for your Facebook page. You'll create the event, and then it'll appear onto your Facebook page, and we'll go to the next window to see how to access that live feed. The reason we are going to do it as an event, and then you'll be able to go live when you're at the scheduled time, is so if you are using a mobile device, you'll be able to access the live through a mobile device. We can go to the next screen. So then, when you're ready to go live, you'll scroll down to your page and you'll see that live virtual open house event there, where you'll be able to share it, or you can boost the post to a certain location, geographic location that you'd like. But when you are ready to go live, you'll click on that live button, and it will bring you to your desktop setup, or it'll bring you to, depending on how you want to use it, you can use a mobile camera or your desktop camera, but it'll bring you to just a quick setup screen. Use the camera on your device that you're using. That's the link that you will use to share your live virtual open house. And again, you can enter in a few description terms or any notes or property details that you'd like to send out to people that are going to view your live stream. And then when you're ready to click go live, you'll click go live, and it'll show you kind of, you'll see in the bottom right corner a little preview. That's kind of what the screen was looking at. But if you are hosting it with a seller, your seller will need to be viewing the live stream at the time. So it's a good idea to go live a little bit earlier than your scheduled time, so you can have a couple minutes just to set up and make sure that the stream is working. You'll see an icon. The icon is in the previous slide, what the icon looks like. You'll click bring a friend, and then you'll see that if you have your seller is viewing the stream, you'll be able to click on your seller, and that'll include or invite them to join the stream with you. So you'll have two split cameras. It'll be like a side-by-side camera view of you, and then the other side will be the seller walking through the property, or whoever is in the property walking through the property. But yeah, when you're ready to go live, then you'll just go live.
Perfect. So sorry, I was trying to get it to go to the next slide. So so that really is how you do Facebook Live, and you have set up the event, then you actually have to go live, and we have those step-by-step guidelines for you. Another popular one is Google, because so many people have Gmail, and some people really love Google Meets. If you want to do it with Google Meets, though, you really need to upgrade to the G Suite account, which is $6 a month. And the $6 a month can hold up to 250 people for a Google Meets event. So Billy has the step-by-step guidelines there for you on the screen. But again, let's go watch the video and Billy walk them through what they need to do. Did you do a video for Google Meets as well?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, this is the screen for this. So you'll have your, the next slide is this video.
Gotcha. So we have steps 1 to 5, then steps 6 to 9 on 2 separate screens. So there's 9 steps to do Google Meets, and here's the video.
So the best way is, again, if you do have a G Suite account, you'll need that to host the video conference. You do not need a G Suite account to view it, only to host it. So anyone that has that link will be able to view your conference. But the best way to set it up is to you'll go to your Google Calendar, and you'll click create. Create will bring the event page up. You'll enter in a title of your the live virtual open house, or a virtual showing. If you're just setting up a live virtual showing, select the date and time. You'll see below there's an add guest, so you can invite people directly to it, or just share the link out. But to add the conference, you'll click on that add conference. And there is your meeting ID. So that's the meeting ID that you're going to want to share, the URL link. You'll share that around so people have access to the meeting. And again, it can host up to 250 participants. However, and if you're the administrator of your own Google account, which you will be, you'll have another option in that drop down to set up a view only stream. So you'll set up the meeting, and you'll invite it to, you'll add guests as your seller. So you two will be the participants, and then you'll share out that live virtual or view stream only to anyone that just wants to view it. So it'll just be you two on the stream, but everyone else will be able to view it. So then when you're ready, you'll click on the event in your calendar, and you'll click join Hangout session. It'll take you, this is again desktop view. Mobile view is very similar to this, but it'll bring you to the Google Meets page, and it'll show you a quick kind of like setup screen. Your camera will start. It'll just load, and then you'll have the option to join now. So when you're ready to go, you'll click join now, and that'll start. The present button right there, you can click present, and if you're looking to share a pre-recorded tour, that's how you'll do that. So you'll click present, and then you can share the window that you have your stream on, or your pre-recorded video. But we click join now to go into the live meeting as we're holding a live virtual open house. You'll see again in the bottom left, you have your meeting details that you can share on. Those are the same exact, that's the same URL as from the creating the event in your Google Calendar. you'll see on the right, you'll have, again, there's a chat feature. You can select different people that are viewing it. You can unmute them, mute them, similar to Zoom. It doesn't have a feature to rename participants. So that's, again, personal preference on which software you'd like to use. But you have, as you are hosting it, you can invite people directly into it as you're live. Again, a lot of different features. But that's just the basic how you're going to set it up. But it's very similar to a lot of the other ones. You kind of just go live and you'll invite guests. And then here are those instructions on how to create an additional view only for if you want to share that view only stream.
Perfect. And then in addition, we put a screenshot here of the different G Suite plans that are available. So G Suite, $6 a month, $72 a year. That's the upgraded from just free Gmail. Again, only the person that sets the meeting up is the only one that needs that $6 a month account. Everybody else can view it for free, and you can have up to 250 people, right? Okay,
Yes.
so I want to just clarify real quick. When you're setting meetings up, you have to set the meeting up the right way in the meeting software. So the first thing that you want to do is want to check the live, if you're doing a live virtual showing, typically you're going to set it up for about an hour. If you're going to do a live virtual open house, it might be anywhere up to 3 hours long, 5 hours long, however long you want to do it for. I worked with an agent this weekend who they did a live virtual open house from 12 to 3 p.m. So what they did was they set their Zoom meeting up for 11:30 to 3:30. They set it up for a 4-hour window, and then really they marketed it that it was from 12 to 3, and then people came in and left. In their case, they did market they did have a waiting room. So what they did is they went to zoom.com, and when you go to Zoom, here's how they set up their meeting. So up at the top, you have join a meeting, host a meeting, sign in. They signed in. Once they signed in, sometimes, depending if if you load the Zoom app on your phone and on your laptop, if you're an Apple user, there's this little window that'll pop up when Zoom launches, and you can quick start a meeting right from scratch. So you can hit start, you can hit copy invitation, and it's just always there, and you can run your meeting instantly. So say you get a phone call from a realtor who, it's not during an open house, but they want to talk to you right away, or they want to see a showing right away. You just click start meeting and you can start a new meeting. Up at the top here, it has schedule a meeting, join a meeting, host a meeting, and it says with video on, video off, same thing Billy was just showing you. What I wanted you to see, here's the example of 2 people in the participants and the screenshot there of what it looks like on a Zoom on a mobile. And so when I entered this open house, live virtual open house, the realtor had it labeled live virtual open house. Actually, they went back later and they added a photograph of the home in between the phone number and this, and it pushed all the text down. And they had a nice big photograph of the home right here while people were in the waiting room. And then additionally, this is what it looks like when someone was actually walking through the home. You can see the viewer's identity was shielded, and then the realtor was walking through the home, showing the home on their mobile device. Again, they can go vertical or they can go horizontal. Just to highlight a couple quick things, again, real quick, you can make it, there's been a lot of questions about security. You can require that meeting password right in the middle. Another thing is, we talked earlier about when we used to do open houses, we used to get people to sign-in sheets, and they'd give us their name, email address, phone number, information, etc. And how do you do that on a virtual open house? Well, what you would do is you would click this section right here that basically says registration required. So when you market a link out, click the meaning below to RSVP for this open house, you would require people to actually enter their first name, last name, email address, etc., like a sign-in sheet. Now the catch with that is it's an extra step. People might get to the registration and say, oh, I don't want to register, I'm not going to go, and then they don't even come into the meeting. Some agents like the registration required because then at least they're getting authentic buyers that are through when they're doing open houses, and it does capture their information. because it has to have an authentic email to actually enter the open house. But that's a decision up to you, whether registration is required, whether or not you require a meeting password, or whether down at the bottom you enable the waiting room or not. So that's what we have for how you do live virtual showings, how you do live virtual open houses.
Like what you're hearing on The Real Estate? Tell your friends about us. Tell them to check out all of our episodes on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. And don't forget to send any topics you want us to tackle to therealestate@homesmart.com.